This guy is actually an attorney, so if you need some legal advice after the show, but he is changing his career path, and he's really going to get serious. And now he is pursuing stand-up comedy. Jordan Parker, everybody.
Shake my hand. Hi, everybody. Like, give it up for these past comics, just so I can fill up some time. I like this. So it's a new year, which is exciting. It's that wonderful time of year where we as a people get together, pledge to better ourselves, and immediately find a way to weasel out of it. You're laughing twice, like that's true. That's true. Too close. And one of the things I see lately is my favorite, where you go out, you see someone, they're smoking a cigarette, like, I thought you quit smoking. Like, oh, no, I'm not a smoker. I'm a social smoker. I have a couple of drinks, and maybe I have a cigarette. Which is a fantastic bullshit excuse we tell ourselves. And you don't see that with anything else, really. I don't go to a bar, and I'm like, oh, what, you mean this guy on my arm? I'm not gay, I'm just socially gay. Can't a guy go to Hillcrest after a long day at work, have a couple drinks, and bum a guy or two? I mean, why do we gotta get so caught up in labels? So speaking of people who make excuses for doing terrible things, we just got a new Congress. Yeah, so based on the percentage of people who voted last time, I'd say less than 35% of you care. That's a smart joke, so, but, as you know, I'm a political junkie, I'm an attorney, so this stuff fascinates me, and to become a congressman or senator, you have to swear to defend and support the Constitution of the United States, and I think it makes perfect sense that our congressmen and senators are inaugurated the first week of January, because, well, everyone else is making promises they don't intend to keep. Ooh, it's fun. So, speaking of other newsly things, the NYPD's in the news, and I think this is a lot more nuanced of a discussion than we give it credit for. I mean, you have to give the NYPD credit because they've kept the city safe, they responded heroically to 9/11, but now they are facing their most trying test of the department's history: mild constructive criticism. I think we all remember that rhyme when we were children. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but if you don't give us unequivocal support in any situation, we'll pick up our toys and go home. I'm just going to make clear, I'm not in favor of cops dying, because whenever I talk about this, I have to say that, which is really stupid, but now that's out there. These are real things. Stay away from the internet. But the New York State Police Department, what they're doing is they are protesting, and what they're doing a virtual work stoppage. The union is encouraging them to slow down their work. Now, lots of things like parking tickets and arrests are down 90% than they were last year, and they say, they've been instructed, we will only arrest people when we absolutely have to. And it's a dangerous precedent because people are concerned that the police will now be doing what the police were supposed to be doing the entire time. Someone's been arrested before. The only people who clapped out like, yeah, I had a bad experience. No, but the reason the police can cut down on the laws they enforce, because for anyone who's been to New York, they have some dumb, can I say fuck? Oh, I already said it. Some dumb, silly laws over there. I was there last year, and I was walking around Wall Street, speaking of laws that aren't enforced, but they had a sign that said, no honking, $400 fine. And in the news lately, they recently banned on the subway man-spreading. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's doing this. Yes, New York is the only city in the entire world where they have to pass laws that remind you, don't be an inconsiderate prick. Yeah, but sometimes the laws are weird and different for a good reason. I used to live in New Orleans. Anybody from the South here? No, this is California. Yeah, that's flyover country to you people. But I used to live in New Orleans. I went to law school down there, and it was a fantastic experience. And one thing they have that very few others have is no open container laws, which means you can drink anywhere. It's fantastic. One of the only other places that have that is Las Vegas, Nevada. It's a fun thing, and you know, it's a novel thing because you know what they call in the other 48 states a person who drinks outside? Homeless. Yeah, but Oh, so something really exciting happened to me recently. I want to share. I was online and I had a nuanced, insightful, respectful debate on the internet about a hot political issue, said no one ever. One of the resolutions I did make is I retired from arguing on the internet because I realized as an attorney I play dirty, I rely on facts, I say you're not supporting your argument, this is logical fallacy, and I am a rare person. I like to share ideas and do something radical, learn things. And the problem with that is I thought other people want to do that, but there is no respectful way to tell someone everything you believe is wrong, please stop. And it's a problem. It's a real problem because with more information we have now segregated our news. We only get our news from sources we agree with. So you have little knowledge gaps. And there was a media study done in 2013 and it found that people who watch Fox News were less informed about the issues than people who watch nothing. Yes, that's a real thing. I don't have a joke to that. It makes me very sad, but it does explain the midterm elections. But it's hard because people live in their own bubbles, because they're safe and they're fun and you never have to be told you're stupid. And one of my favorite sets I ever did, I was in New Orleans a couple years back, and I tried to get political in the South. And I sit down and I pick up my drawing like, I want to tell you people about this reckless, liberal, big government president I've been reading about. I'll give you a hint. One of the biggest tax increases in history, amnesty for millions of illegals, funneled weapons to Islamic extremists, but enough about Ronald Reagan. You can look that up after the show, it checks out. And after the show, after I had my fun, a Texan came up to me, and how did I know he's Texan? Well, the same way you know if someone's gay because they're openly gay, there is no such thing as a Texan who isn't openly Texan. I mean, they're both flamboyant and, well, you know, fancily dressed. And he comes up to me and he said, hey man, I liked a lot of your set, but that Reagan stuff made me want to punch you in the face. I gotta correct you. Ronald Reagan, he never raised taxes. Yes, yes he did. That is so well documented. Like, after tax cuts, he created a deficit, so to make up for it, raise income taxes, corporate taxes, payroll taxes, all sorts of these things. And he looks at me in the same way a kid looks at you when you explain to him where babies come from. I can't. He looks at me with these big doe eyes. No! No! And he uttered the favorite lines I've ever heard from anyone. I'm a Ronald Reagan expert. And I know he never raised taxes. So just to recap this story, he anointed himself an expert in a particular field, refused to acknowledge that other facts exist, and when challenged, he threatened me with violence. As he's known in Republican circles, a Ronald Reagan expert. But it's terrible. I joke about it because... I joke about it because I need to sleep at night, and this is how I deal with tragedy. But it's a real problem, because when I talk to conservatives about Ronald Reagan, you get one or two people. You get one people where you tell them, oh, he raised taxes, like, yeah, those were bad policy choices. He shouldn't have done that. I have no problem with you. You live in reality, you believe what you believe, good for you. And then there's the other kind of conservatives who, despite having a problem with the gays, have this weird homoerotic love of Ronald Reagan, and they can't imagine he ever did anything wrong. And when you try to talk to them about what Ronald Reagan actually did, they give you this sort of Luke Skywalker, Empire Strikes Back.
Ronald Reagan raised taxes.
That's not true! That's impossible! I had to throw in one nerd joke. But it sucks, because we as a nation, we need to know these things. We keep ourselves out of the loop, and I don't care what you believe, whether you're liberal, conservative, whatever you do, just believe something and have a reason for it. Support it, read things that challenge you, and learn things, for God's sakes. I'm kind of getting soapboxy here because I forgot how I was supposed to close this, but... You know, do that one thing that your algebra teacher always told you to do, but you never did. Show your work. Whatever you believe, show your work. Anyhow, I appreciate you all coming out for the lecture. Comedy set. We'll be holding office hours afterwards. My name is Jordan Parker. Please like me on the internet so I can feel better. I'm also on Twitter. You guys have been awesome. Thank you.
One more time, Jordan Parker, everybody. Very nice, my friend. All right, remember, it's a comedy show. You're supposed to have fun. If you didn't have fun, at the end of the day, just go to bed. All right, are you ready for your headline?